All right, BIT class, our next session in Illustrator is about grouping. I want to show you the things that I have to kind of help you along here. Here we are on the calendar, grouping. I do have a help page. If you go to the help page, go to Business Information Technology, and right here, grouping. Now there's not a ton on this handout, so what you're going to kind of have to do is watch this video to get the idea of the assignment, to be able to understand what I'm after. You're going to need to watch this movie. The file that you need I sent to you before today, so it's in your Insight Files folder, but I will show you on Schoology. There are two things I want you to see here. Here's the link for turning this in. It's Illustrator number 6 grouping. That's for turning it in. If by some chance you do not have the file in your Insight Files folder, it's also posted right here on Schoology. BIT number 6 grouping. Click that. Click it again. Download the file, and bingo, it should either open up in Illustrator or it will download and you can open it up from there. All right, now, and since I'm here in Illustrator, I want to show you how this is going to work today. Grouping is what this is all about, and I'm going to demonstrate that, but here's what the file is going to look like when you open it. It's in your Insight Files folder. And there are things that you're going to have to do on this artboard when you get it done. It might look something like this, but let me just kind of demonstrate all of this so that you get the idea. So I'm going to close this one that's done. I'm even going to close this one that is, this is how it's going to look when you open it up. All right, so let's go to work. Here I am in Illustrator. I'm going to click File and Open. Now, like I said, I think that most of you, if you go to Desktop, and you go to Insight Files, you should find it. But if you don't, it's posted on Schoology. All right, so right here it's BIT, Adobe Illustrator, number 6, grouping. Open it up. And here it is. Now there are two things that we're going to work on here. And there's like an above the line and below the line. All right, above this line that divides the paper into half, you see all these pieces, and it says, use the pieces to build a caterpillar. Color it as desired, and then group it, and that's the important part. Grouping it is the important part. If you don't group it, you're not going to get the points today, and I'm going to show you how to do it. All right, well, let's go to work on building it first. I'm just really, right now, I'm just going to kind of rearrange. I'm using my black arrow tool. And I'm going to rearrange these shapes a bit. All right, I'm making the body of the caterpillar. And then I want, what I'm going to do here, and this is going to be the head of the caterpillar. Lovely. And I've got an antenna here that I want to stick. I'm going to pull my artboard down just a bit. All right, so I'm going to stick that antenna up there like that. I'm going to use this for his eye. Maybe I'll move that antenna up just a little bit more. And this is going to be a mouth. And I'll move that just a smidge more. Now I'm going to put some legs on him here. And I'm just going to kind of attach the legs to these body segments that I've got on my caterpillar. All right, we're looking good there. I want a leg here and I want a leg there, and okay, this is looking good, doing fine here, and I'm going to put one more leg on that section, even though it's kind of raising up a little bit. Now I'm using my black arrow. I'm just going to move these kind of out of the way, and I want to get all of this selected here. I'm just going to drag my mouse over all of it, and I want to move my caterpillar down a little bit, kind of like that. All right, so this text here is just, it was here to help you know what to do. So if you know what you're doing, you can take these text items over here that says use the pieces to build a caterpillar, color as desired, group it when you're done. All right, I'm going to get rid of that. I don't need it anymore. Here's my caterpillar. I've got him put together. I'm going to color him up. All right, so I'm going to do a little, I want like a dark green on here and on here. I'm just selecting certain parts of the caterpillar and going to a fill color. All right, I'm just adding a fill color. So I want like a darker green like that. And you can have a purple and yellow caterpillar. I don't care what color the caterpillar is. That doesn't matter. So you color it how you want. All right, I'm going to color this one with that lighter green here. The head, I'm going to color with kind of a medium green there, and I think this, I might give him like a yellow antenna ball up there, and the eye looks pretty good white. All right, so anyway, here it is. I've got my caterpillar put together kind of the way I want. And you know, yours doesn't have to look exactly like mine. But this is the idea. This is the intent of this thing. You take these pieces and you build a caterpillar out of it. Okay. Now, here's where grouping comes in, and this is what grouping is all about. If I make this caterpillar, let's say I'm making, I don't know, I'm making some kind of diagram, some kind of illustration. I build this caterpillar, and I'm thinking, well, okay, I want to move this caterpillar to another place in my diagram. So I go to click him and drag him, and look what happens. I didn't want that to happen. That's one little part of his body, and I didn't want that to happen. So I'm going to hit Control Z, undo. And I know, yes, it is true that you could take your black arrow and drag it so you select all of it, and then, yeah, you can move it around like that. But grouping is something that really kind of helps make things a little bit easier to work with. All right, so watch, and this is not a hard thing, but watch how this is done. Here we go. I am going to take my black arrow tool. I'm going to drag a box so that I have all of this caterpillar selected, like that. And then I'm going to go to the Object menu in Illustrator here, and I'm just going to group it. Now you see that there's a keyboard shortcut. Control G. Now I want to show you this. There's also, if you get it all selected, you can also point to the caterpillar, do a right click, and look, it's right there. Same thing. So there are a number of ways that you can do this. Go to the Object menu and select Group. Do Control G on the keyboard. Right click on the the group of objects that you have here and group it together right here like this. It doesn't matter that much how you do it. Now, here's the thing that just happened. It does not look any different. Grouping does not change the look of this at all. But if I come here and I click on any part of this caterpillar and I go to drag it, oh, look at that. It stays together. I got all of those pieces. It's like glue. I've got all of those pieces grouped together so they stay together. And they can be resized if I'm thinking, well, I want my caterpillar a little bit smaller. All right, there we go. And I could even, if I wanted to, if I was making some kind of illustration about caterpillars, I could alt drag it and I could have 2 caterpillars, or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. All right, see, that's a group, and I could alt drag it to make another one. All right, I'm going to delete that because I don't really want another one. But this is the biggest part of the assignment. You've got to select all those pieces of the caterpillar and then either go to Object Group or Control G or right-click Group, however you want to do it. You've got to group the caterpillar. How am I going to grade this? Well, when I open up your file, I'm going to come here and I'm going to click and drag on the caterpillar. If he comes apart, you're not getting the points. He's got to be grouped together. All right, you don't want him to come apart. All right, so the caterpillar's done. Let's go to work on this part down here. Build a face on your own. Use whatever tools you want. Group all the pieces of the face, and then that's it. All right, so I know what I'm doing now. I'm gonna take this little text object here, build a face, and group all the pieces. I'm gonna get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. All right, here we go. I'm gonna start off with an ellipse, like that, and I'll fill it with kind of a tannish color. That's fine, whatever. All right, and then I'm going to draw, and I spend forever on this, but I'm going to draw another circle that I fill with white, and I'm going to stroke that a little bit, I think, put an outline on it, and I'll pull that over here. I'm going to alt drag that circle because I want another one, kind of like it. Now I'm going to draw a circle that is filled with black, and it's going to be smaller. I'm going to use my black arrow here, and I'm going to put that like right there and alt drag that. And so we got that going on. Now, a lot of exactly how you make this thing, well, it's going to be up to you. How about a paintbrush? All right, so there I got a nose. And you can make a mouth. Gosh, you can make a mouth a lot of ways. I could draw in, maybe I fill that with black or something. Okay, good. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Pretty happy with that. And I'm going to add in like a little ear here. I'm going to tuck that right about there. Now I would like for that to go behind the head, so I'm going to do arrange and send to back, and I'm also going to fill that with that kind of tannish color there. And I might even stroke that a little bit more, kind of like that. I'm going to alt drag that ear and bring it over here. So I got another one. I might stroke my head a little bit too. Hey, this is coming together. My face is coming together. I might add a little bit of hair, just some like curly hairs that I have sticking off of the head. I'm doing them with a paintbrush. Lovely. Okay, there he is. I drew a face. Now again, see, here's the whole thing. This is the whole key to this. I drew the face. If I click on his head and I drag it apart, see, I don't want that. I want the face to stay together. So I'm going to do Control Z to undo. And it's not a hard thing, but I got to drag so it's all selected like this. Use my black arrow, drag so it's all selected. All of those parts are selected. And then I could go to Object Group, Control G, or right click Group if you want to do it that way. That'll work. And again, here's how I'm going to grade your thing. When I download your thing and I look at it, I'm going to come to the face that you made, I'm going to click, and I'm going to drag. And if it comes apart, you didn't get the points. That's the whole thing. You've got to group it. You've got to select all of the parts and do Object Group, Control G, right click Group, however you want to do it, so that when I drag this face, it all stays together. That's the whole point of grouping. So there it is. You have two grouping tasks. Build a caterpillar, group it together, make a face, group it together, and you're done. So you could do File Save if you want to just save it into your Insight Files folder, or you could do File Save As if you want to switch it over to your network drive. Either one is okay with me. You can turn it in on Schoology here. The link is all set up for you. It's Illustrator number 6, grouping. Time for you to go to work. Have fun.